Okay, that's the last of the gear.
This is the pit. It was originally discovered in 1996 by Dan Linds and Kay Walton when they were exploring a remote tunnel off the Dos Ojos system. It is 400 feet to the bottom, with numerous cave passages. It has been extensively explored by cave diving legends such as Paul Heinerth and Bill Phillips. It is from here that Steve has done some of his most challenging exploration, laying line back thousands of feet at depths approaching 400 feet, with dives up to 11 hours long in areas previously thought to be all but impassable.
I was diving solo with a double redundant closed circuit rebreather system, which gave me like 24 hours of life support. We're expecting the dive to be around about 10 to 12 hours long. It was actually 10.5 hours surface to surface time, which included the descent, the bottom time, the ascent and the decompression that I was doing during the dive. I had a whole support team out here with me, and the dive wouldn't have been possible without those people assisting me to do what I did, you know, to put someone on the end of a line like that. There's a whole team that come behind them and put them there. And I was able to actually explore and survey almost 1,000 feet of new cave at an average depth of about 330 feet, maximum depth 360 feet.
After lowering his tanks and scooter down into the water, the diver will be on to carefully assembling and checking his gear. Then we will make our way to the water's edge for the 25-foot plunge to the cenote below. As I look down, white fluffy clouds with an almost heavenly appearance float in the water column well over 100 feet below. There it is, toxic, corrosive, and beautiful, the hydrogen sulfide layer.
So what you're seeing now is me diving through a hydrogen sulfide layer in the cave. Hydrogen sulfide is an extremely toxic gas, and if you were to breathe it for any extended period on the surface in a high enough concentration, it would kill you pretty quickly. Sometimes on the end of the dives I'll sort of scooter in and out of it or swim in and out of it, and I almost feel like I'm flying through the clouds. The light beams coming down and hitting it, and it's almost got this fluorescent blue glow. It just looks incredible, particularly at a place like the pit.
Rising above the hydrogen sulfide layer, after finishing checking the lines at the bottom of the cenote, he then grabs his scooter and heads toward the opening in the side of this immense cavern. The importance of the guideline in a cave cannot in any way be overstated. In most cases, it is the diver's only reference to the surface. It is also the basis for all of the maps and charts that are cataloged for future exploration. While moving quickly into the cave on his scooter, he will keep a constant visual reference with the guideline. Using scooters, the diver is moving as much as 4 times faster than swimming, and at this speed, it is very easy to lose contact with the line.
These divers encounter many amazing things while exploring these systems. This is a fantastic example of some long-lost camel bones. These camels, or camelops as they are called, were much larger than the camels we are familiar with today, and at one time thrived from Alaska to Central America, but, along with many other species of animals, went extinct at the end of the last ice age, approximately 10,000 years ago. This one either wandered in here and was lost, or fell into the water and drowned, his body deposited here on display on this ledge for all eternity.
Then we use scooters, like underwater torpedoes, and stage bottles to get us to the ends of the existing lines, so we have more time once we're at the end of those lines to actually explore effectively. So we'll scooter in, breathing from one or more stages, and we'll drop those stages as we're going into the caves, as we hit thirds on each stage bottle, leaving 2/3 of our gas to be able to make an exit with, should our exit be delayed. And then eventually we'll get to the point where we've dropped our last stage bottle, and we'll drop our scooter as well.
Steve will install a line arrow on the guideline, always pointing in the direction of the exit. These arrows are marked with his name and or a keyword for his own safety, as well as for survey information. Carefully tying his reel into the existing guideline, he will make a jump from this line to the line he's resurveying today, always maintaining a continuous line to the surface.
So as you're going, you're laying the guideline, making tie-offs as you're swimming, trying to get an overall picture of the cave as you're going, trying to build up a mental picture so that you can have natural navigation as well as the guideline to lead you back to your exit point.
Swimming along, the diver comes to a restriction. With side-mount tanks as opposed to tanks on his back, he can easily make it into many areas that a diver with back-mount tanks could never possibly get through. Unfortunately, this passage is a dead end, and by the looks of all the percolation falling from the ceiling, one that has not been entered into before, and possibly a bit unstable. Every year, untrained divers enter into underwater caves and are lost. With one kick of the fin or exhaust of bubbles, visibility can easily turn to zero, making it all but impossible for the ill-equipped diver with no cave training to make their way back to the entrance. For the properly prepared and experienced cave diver, this is just another day of exploration. Undeterred, he presses on. He locates his line and very meticulously begins his resurvey.
So as you're swimming along the guideline, every tie-off becomes a survey station, and you're going to collect at least 3 pieces of information at each survey station. You're going to collect a depth, you're going to collect a compass azimuth to the next survey station, and you're going to get the distance between those stations. And it's very important that the guideline is laid well so that it's safe, so we can follow it back. It's our primary reference back to the surface, but also so that we can gather all our survey data accurately and efficiently as well.
Finishing his survey, the diver picks up his stage tank and scooter and works his way back to the entrance. Exiting the cave into the cavern zone of the pit is an image that is near impossible to fully capture on film, and one that is as unforgettable as any I have ever seen. I didn't get the chance to talk to Dan Linz or Kay Walton while filming this project, but I can only speculate as to what they may have felt when seeing it for the first time. For me, it has all the magic of a sunrise over the Caribbean Sea. This is clearly a great part of why these guys do what they do. The days ahead will bring many great challenges, such as hair-raising wildlife encounters, a cave collapse, as well as a looming threat of devastation to the cave system and the Yucatan freshwater supply. But for now, Steve will pack up and head into his office to input today's valuable survey data.